Welcome once again to your update from the city of New Hope. Time to get caught up of what's new in the city and what might be coming up. To give us that information, it's the mayor once again, Kathi Hemken. Welcome, Mayor. How are you today?
Hi, Dave. Just fine. Kind of melting over here, but just fine.
Yeah, a little toasty over the 4th of July. We're going to talk about some of the fun had outside and now maybe a little cooler stretch here. So we'll enjoy that. Let's start with the Rave Awards. We've been talking about the deadline fast approaching for people to get in on this. Again, remind us what this great award is.
Well, when residents of homes put in some time and money into their homes to improve the way it looks, both on the inside and on the outside, we like to give them an award for that. And the only way we know about it is if somebody nominates them, whether it's your neighbor nominating you or you're nominating yourself. We really don't care. We just need to know that it's there. And then we send a team out and they inspect the properties and we decide who gets the award. Now you have until the 21st of July to nominate someone. You can go online and get the form. You can go into City Hall and get it. I believe you could probably even call City Hall and they'll mail one out to you. But you have until the 21st, so you need to kind of get on it right away here.
All right, and there's the website, newhopemn.gov. And if you go to the site, you go to Live Recognition and the Resident Recognition page. You'll find all the information you need. Time for your update on scattered site housing projects across the city. And let's first start at 3611 Louisiana. Some more activity happening there.
It is. The house is gone. And of course, they got rid of all the hazardous material and they cut off the power and the gas and all that kind of stuff. We sold the lot and we're probably going to close on that in the next month or two to Great Buy Homes. And the contract says they're going to start building probably in the next month or so. And they have until the end of the year to finish the project. So by December 31st, we'll have a new house there.
And if you haven't driven by 42nd and Boone lately, look what's going on. There's some framing going up. Tell us about the advancement on this property.
Well, there is. They're doing the south one first, of course. And so that framing will start going up, or it's starting to go up now. Once they start that, it seems like it goes up really, really quick. It takes a long time after that because they have to do all the inside stuff after that. But once that house is done, then they'll start on that north lot. So look for more progress there.
It is moving along, and more talk about that intersection coming up in just a few minutes. Let's move up to 4965 Winnetka. That property is getting some work done on it and also some training opportunities.
Well, we did close on that property, and before we tear it down, of course, we took out the hazardous materials that were in it, and we turned off the gas and the power and the water. And now the SWAT team is going to go in, the police SWAT team will be going in the week of July 12th. So you'll see some police cars there. You'll see the big SWAT machine or vehicle there. Don't be nervous. That's what that is. We'll get to the other training that they're going to be doing there, but we will be doing some training there in the future.
All right. Last stop on scattered site is up at 5802 Boone. And again, activity happening here very soon.
It's very soon. So that one we issued the demolition contract to Nitty Roll-Off Services. We've abated all the materials that need to come out of there, shut off all the power and lights and water. And I'm guessing they're going to tear that down within the next month or two. Once that's down, then we will sell the lot to a contractor and a new house will go up there. So look for some progress going, but that house is going to be gone shortly, neighbors. Honest to goodness.
And as always, information mailed out to all the neighbors. And if you want to look for any of that information too on development and scattered site, you can go to the city's website again, newhopemn.gov. Business Networking Group, a special celebratory meeting coming up soon. When and where?
Well, because we joined with Crystal, we think this is really important to have some networking where that's all we're doing is networking. People bring business cards, they trade that. That's going to happen on the 19th of July at Pocket Square. If you don't know where Pocket Square, it's the old where Mountain Mud was, and they do they infuse vodkas and gins. So you can not only get non-alcoholic drinks, you can get alcoholic drinks. So that'll be at 3 o'clock on the 19th of July, and it's open to everyone. You don't have to be a business owner, just stop in and see the businesses that are happening in New Hope and Crystal.
All right, here's a look inside some other activity happening in the city under building permits and inspections. The first is Meadow Lake Elementary. Sounds like some extra work going on there.
Well, anytime they do any work, either inside or outside, they need to have a permit. And the reason for the permit is so that our inspectors can go back out after the job is done and make sure the job was done properly. So Meadow Lake asked for a permit to do some work inside the building, and that'll be happening is probably over the summer. Also, the North Education Center got a permit to put some solar panels on their roof. And then the scrap metal processing at 9,000 Science Center Drive, they have to install an exhaust fan that's required, so they had to get a permit for that. So that's one of the reasons we issue those permits, so we can come back and make sure that the work was done properly.
All right, let's move ahead to the police department and give you an update on some of the things happening. And here's a fun one, something called the Playground Pals Youth Program. It sounds like some officers made a special visit.
But we're really trying hard to get out in the community as much as we can. So these officers go wherever it is they can to just be with people. Well, we have this Playground Pals Youth Program, and it's about 3 of the playgrounds, and they stopped at one of them just to talk to the kids and make sure the kids were comfortable with them being there. So they're out and about doing their stuff.
And
One of the things that's happening right now is they're scheduling the barbecues for apartment complexes. So if you have an apartment complex, either if you're a resident or you're the manager, call the police department. They'll come out with their little wagon and grill and make hot dogs and hamburgers and chips, and just the other officers stop by. So again, it's a chance to meet the officers that maybe you never need them, but in case you ever do, now you at least know who they are. So now's the time to get on their schedule to do that.
What a great opportunity. All right, let's move ahead to Public Works. It's hard to put this group in one spot because they're moving everywhere in the city. Mayor, give us the list. What have they been doing in the last few weeks?
Well, these guys are amazing. You know, not only are they watering the plants and mowing the grass and picking the weeds and doing all that other stuff. I'm going to read this list because it's so there's a stormwater outfall inspections that they do. They go to the rain gardens and inspect them to make sure that they're not full of weeds and take out what they need. The catch basins need to be cleaned. They're out there doing that. They fixed a sinkhole under the bridge on 42nd Avenue. They're doing some water break patching. So when there's a water main break, they have to go in, but then they go back and patch the ground and do all that kind of stuff. They did a swing repair. I mean, these guys just do everything. They were fertilizing, irrigating the fields, and they're inspecting the playgrounds to make sure they're safe. So thank you, Public Works, for all you do.
Hats off to them for that work. Here's another project. We've been keeping an eye on Meadow Lake, some of the management work happening there. What is the latest, Mayor? What stage are we in now?
Well, there's a Meadow Lake management plan that is separate from the city. And when they do some of these projects, the Meadow Lake comes in and does that. Well, we did an alum treatment not too long ago, and we had to put a big boat in. In the process of putting that big boat in, they disturbed the turf. So now we're going back and we are replacing or fixing that turf. And of course, the Meadow Lake Management Association will pay for that, but our Public Works guys will go in and fix that.
Very good. All right, let's talk a little bit about infrastructure improvements. A lot of work happening under the ground and on the ground. Where are some of those areas and what stage are we in?
Well, there's so many, it's almost hard to. Most of them are south of 36th, Xylon, Virginia, that Yukon, that area. The neighbors within 500 yards of that will get a notice that says they're doing some work. Also, if they're going to turn off your water for whatever reason, you'll get a notice on that too. So you can also go online and look and see where those are happening, but you'll get something in the mail, not the day of, but ahead of time, so you'll know that that's happening. But you're going to always go online and look at what's happening in the city in that area. All
right. Again, that website is newhopemn.gov. All right. We mentioned the corner of 42nd and Boone a little earlier. Now let's go back to 42nd and stretch that out a little longer, Mayor. This is going to be the focal point of a lot of work coming up here. What's happening?
It is. If you remember, right, a 42nd was just full of potholes and just a mess. And so we've been trying to get the county to do something because that's a county road. Well, lo and behold, they are, which means 42nd and Xylon is going to be closed. You cannot, if you're on 42nd, you cannot turn north on Xylon. That's where the pool is. You're going to have to go up to Winnetka, turn toward the pool, I think that's 44th, and come back from the north side to get to the pool and to City Hall. So you cannot turn north off of 42nd. 42nd will be open though, one lane each way, so the traffic will be slow, but no turning. Now, the other thing that's happening is on Boone and 42nd, that intersection will be closed. You cannot go north and south on Boone and cross 42nd. So 42nd again will be open. You can get to your house. Of course, the bridge isn't there, so you can't go across the bridge, but you can get to your home or a business that's over there. You just can't turn on Boone. So you'll have to use 49th or 36th to if you need to be on Boone for some reason. That whole area is just going to be a big mess. And if you could figure out another way, even High V, you'll have to come in from the north, not off of 42nd, but you'll have to go up Winnetka to like 44th and come in from the north. So everything's going to be all torn up. It's going to be a big mess, but one day it'll be really nice.
There we go.
They don't think it'll take much more than through the month of July.
Okay, very good. All right. Beware of that area. Let's go to Park and Rec and talk about some of the fun happening outside. The first is camps. We've got some special camps going on right now. Tell us more.
Well, if you look in your InMotion, you can see all the camps that go on during the summer. Well, this week starts the golf camp and the skateboard camp. And so they'll start, well, actually they start on the 10th of July. But you can go on your InMotion and see the other camps that are going on. Just to mention again, if you need some financial help to send your kid to one of these camps, it's available. You need to go into City Hall with a driver's license that shows that you live in New Hope, and you can get a grant to pay for half of the camp fees or the program fees, whatever they're signing up for. But do use that program because it's really important that we get those kids in those camps in the summertime.
Very nice. And you mentioned InMotion. Here it is right here with the fun picture on front of the Mutters. This is the place for all that information. You might have it at home, or if you need to drop by City Hall, you can pick up a copy there as well. Let's talk about umpires. The need for umpires continues on for some of the softball.
Well, I didn't know this, but it's obvious, I guess. They have to schedule those umpires to make sure that they have at least one, maybe two for all these games. And the games kind of change. And if there's a rain out, then the whole schedule changes. So they're in the process of scheduling the umpires now for the month of July, which is quite a task to get them all coordinated and have it all go smoothly. But we've got a team of people that do that.
That is fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about emerald ash borer and some of the work that's happening right now. What is the latest update?
Well, the assistant weed inspector, because as you know, I'm the weed inspector, and I'm not going to go out and do this. So the assistant weed inspector is out looking for noxious weeds in people's lawns. Yeah, also mow your lawn because you'll get a citation if you don't. He's also got his can of spray paint with. He'll be spray painting the elm trees or ash trees that need to come down. We can't take them down all at once, but these are only the ones on public property. So that's that 15 feet easement in front of your house, or if there's an easement in the back, that's the city's, or any parks or the golf course, places like that. If you have an ash tree in your yard and you suspect you have ash borer, you can call the forester, and he's also the weed inspector. He will come out and give you some advice on what to do. But those trees, it's your responsibility to get those trees down.
Let's talk about some behind the scenes work happening with some of the Park and Rec programs. First is an agreement with Sandburg. Tell us about some of the work that happens there on a regular basis.
Sandburg Junior High or Middle School, which is in Golden Valley, we have a contract with them for our gymnastics program. And so we just signed another lease to use that space. Trying to find a space of our own in New Hope has been virtually impossible. So it's very difficult to do that. We need a dedicated space. So Sandburg is nice enough to let us rent that space for them, and we have a contract with them. We also just recently agreed to a 15-year loan from the city's temporary finance fund for the ice arena. So for that south rink that they put in the new flooring, we loaned ourselves for 15 years the money to do that, and they'll pay that back like they would any other loan. But it's kind of nice that we don't have to go outside to get the money. It's kind of in-house, but we need to keep the record straight on who's using the money and where it's going and how we're getting it back. So that's what's financing that ice arena.
Very good. Let's talk about a few facilities in town. That beautiful golf course. We see the picture behind you continues to be very busy.
Well, that back patio is really busy. So they're having graduation parties back there. They're having celebrations of life back there. They're barbecuing. It's a busy, busy place. In the meantime, of course, we're having the leagues go on. There's a Robbinsdale Eastern Star golf outing this week. So that takes pretty much the whole course. There's leagues in the morning and in the afternoon, but there's a lot of open tee times. So just call if you want to play. There's a lot of open times in the evening when it's a little bit cooler, but that's a really busy place over there.
Speaking of another busy place, how about the pool with this hot weather we've had? I understand the pool was very, very busy, but a note for people going ahead, there's going to be some days it's going to be closed.
The pool was really busy last weekend. It was very, very warm. And a lot of those are season pass holders, and a lot of them are just the ones that come for the day and they're paying the $10 fee. So the pool will be closed from the 14th to the 16th of July for the regional swim meet. Now, our swim team, we have a contract with them. They gave us some money to build that 50-meter pool. In exchange for that, we gave them or rented them the pool for the 14th, 15th, and 16th for this meet. I know it's right in the middle of the summer. It's so busy, but that was part of how we got the money to build that 50-meter pool in the meantime. So what else is happening this coming weekend, and well, actually most of the time, but this weekend, the tot time will be at the pool, 9:45 to 10:45. So for $4, you can bring your little tot, 0 to 5 years old, to play in the water. The big kids aren't there. It's just these little kids, and a parent comes free. At the same time, there's some adult lap swimming going on in the 50-meter pool, same time frame. And there's also the water walking that'll go on the vortex pool. So each of these are pretty isolated areas, so they're not bothering the tots in the pool, and everybody has their own space to have an hour of time without all the other people in the pool.
Sounds like great fun. All right, get your calendars out. We have a few things to look forward to here, and we've got some more coming up in just a minute with some events happening real closely here. But one that's coming up right away is West Metro Fire. Tell us about their big open house event.
That's on the 6th of July, and I know that's right away.
Mm-hmm.
From 5 to 8, it'll be at Station 3. That's the one on Xylon, right by City Hall. They'll have hot dogs and chips, and you get to some demonstrations. You get to look at the fire trucks and climb in the fire trucks. And great time for the kids. So that's 5 to 8 on the 6th.
All right.
And it's actually the 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
And that's why they're having the open house.
Very, very nice. Let's move ahead to the beginning of August then. National Night Out, Night to Unite. Tell us about that special day and what people should do right now if they're interested in some special guests for that night.
Well, you need to register your party. We kind of want you to register your party anyway, because then when the police and the public works guys go around, they know where the parties are. So register your party. It's very easy. Just call and tell them you want a registration form, or you can go online and get one. Takes about 3 minutes to fill out. On that form, if you're looking for a special guest to show up, the police chief, our new city manager, me, any of the council, even a police car, a fire truck, the public works guys with their big trucks, anybody that you want to stop by, you have to put that on the list because they actually schedule that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not on the list, we're not allowed to go. We kind of cheat just a little bit if we're in the neighborhood, but now's the time to sign up for that. The first 50 people, I believe, who sign up get a party pack, which has plates and silverware and cups and things in it, balloons, stuff for the kids. So sign up for your National Night Out party on the 1st of August.
All right, website right there, newhopemn.gov to do that. We're going to leave you with a few extra pictures here of a special event that came through town recently, and New Hope was involved. What happened, Mayor?
Well, the Special Olympics Minnesota Law Enforcement Torch Run. That's a long title. But the Special Olympics were held a couple of weeks ago, and our police department, of course, was involved with that special run. So we've got some pictures to show people. They're really cute.
Great event, and again, great participation by the police department. Well, Mayor, thanks once again for your time. Always appreciate the update. Encourage people to stick with us here for a minute. We've got some dates and times of some events you might want to get involved in the city. Mayor, have a great week. We'll look forward to talk to you again next week.
See you, Dave. Bye-bye.
Learn more about The Connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.